Is the economy and inflation cutting into your pocketbook? It is mine. I am a part-time student and have a full-time job. I also just got married back in November. All the bills you have to take on when you get married, like a house payment, electric, gas, are tough enough. Then you add on top of that a bad economy and inflation. It's like pulling nails to pay all my bills. I have to drive about an hour and 15 minutes a day to go to school and work and back home. I've been trying to cut costs as much as possible, and I found that my fuel mileage could be increased by just a few good habits. I am sure that many of you would ever think of your tire pressure would affect your fuel mileage very much. Lower tire pressure causes poor fuel mileage due to the amount of rubber touching the ground. When you have a lot of rubber touching the ground, the more friction it is, it takes more power to push the tires. Also, oversized tires have the same problem. This would be like riding a bike with a really low tire. That would wear you out in just a few minutes. Now imagine how much your engine has to work to move your car on low tire pressure. Just make sure your tire pressure does not exceed the maximum PSI or pounds per square inch. You can improve your fuel mileage by 3.3% by keeping your tires properly inflated. Did you know that keeping your car in good shape is an excellent way to get better gas mileage? Simply getting your car tuned is needed. If you have a serious maintenance problem, fix it. Some of the smallest things can improve your fuel mileage. A dirty air filter, for example, that restricts the air that your engine needs to perform at its best. For an engine to fire, it needs a good measure of air and fuel, and without the air that your car has to use more fuel to get the same amount of power. You can improve your fuel economy by 6 to 11% just by changing your dirty air filter, and it also protects your engine. To check your dirty air filter, this is an air filter. And if you take light, a flashlight or any kind of light, and shine it through, and if you see light passing through, that means air can pass through, but as you see with this one, you can't see any light because it's pretty dirty. Also, if your spark plugs are not firing correctly, you do not use the fuel that is being injected into your engine. And when this happens, your fuel is going to waste and is not being combusted. Then you have to use more fuel to make up for the lost power. Also, rapid acceleration and braking can lower your fuel mileage by 33% when driving on the highway. When your car is at a complete stop, it's at its hardest point to get on the move. Once you brake this point, then it gets easier and easier to move. So when you're sitting at a stop sign, just let off the brake and ease in the gas pedal. This allows to use the car's momentum to help it along. Then when you go to stop, don't accelerate all the way to your stopping point. Then hit your brakes. Let your car's momentum that it has to build up the coast to your stopping point. You'd be surprised how far a car will coast at a decent speed. Also, your cruise control will gradually speeding up and slowing down. Obey the speed limit is another way to get better gas mileage. Most cars show that they get their best fuel mileage between the speeds of 55 and 65 miles per hour. Each 5 miles per hour you drive over 65 miles per hour decreases your fuel mileage by 7%. Avoid carrying unnecessary items in your car. Excess weight also affects your fuel mileage a lot. You would never guess that just by having a few friends or just a few extra goods can cut your fuel mileage by 2 to 5%. When you add in small amounts to your fuel tank, the fuel additive acetone will increase fuel efficiency and reduce hydrocarbon emissions. Fuel must be completely vaporized in order to be fully combusted. An obstacle to vaporization is surface tension, which is greatly reduced by acetone. Excess fuel is generally wasted and spit out of the tailpipe. When acetone is mixed with the fuel, the excess fuel is burned. By using acetone in your fuel, you could gain between 15 to 35% better fuel economy. You should only add a few ounces per 10 gallons of gas. Too much can hurt your fuel economy. Also, only use 100% acetone. You can buy fine bottles at Walgreens as well as farm supply stores. Researchers have soaked engine parts in acetone for months and even years to make sure there is no deterioration. No problems have been found yet, but not all systems have been tested. Acetone can deteriorate cheap plastic and some other substances, so research your car engine before you start using acetone. Today I've given you several tips and good habits to better your fuel mileage and save both money and the environment. Make sure your engine, tires are properly overly inflated, avoid rapid acceleration and braking, and use acetone are just a few of the ways you can better your fuel mileage. All of these things will help you save money and will be good for your car in the long run as well. These are just a few things that cut my costs by a lot. I know I enjoy my trip a lot more now driving to work because I know I'm saving money.